Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Everybody Needs a Nudge. We went searching high and low for guests for this week's podcast, but everybody seems to be busy with Christmas, Root Beer.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's that time of year.
Are you busy with Christmas?
Always. It's the best time of
How are
year.
you always busy with Christmas?
She loves Christmas.
Holiday expos, shopping, ice skating, decorating, baking,
Christmas treats.
Christmas movies, Christmas treats, Christmas carols.
Caroling.
Big
Wow.
Christmas person over there, huh?
Huge.
Really?
Almost as big as Keith.
I don't know.
Oh, who? Keith Carr. So this week's guest, hold on, I have a special intro. I have to read it. It's finally happening. My best and longest friend ever. The man, the myth, the legend. I give you Keith Carter.
Thank you, Dan. This is quite an honor.
So we had to beg and claw to get Keith on the podcast, and he wanted to bring his whoopee with him. So Nick is here. Say hi, Nick.
Hello.
Nick's already been on the podcast. This is round 2, which means, unfortunately for Nick, your speaking is limited.
It's okay.
All right.
I'm here for emotional support.
You can't talk that much.
Okay, goodbye.
All right. Of course, before we get into Keith, because we are going to talk about you, Keith. I got some notes here. I could read the rest of this, but I would probably end up at the police station for at least this part. But I can read this part. As in life, work, etc., any good leader needs a good assistant, and that's exactly what Keith is. He's my checks and balances, my milk for my Oreos, my peanut butter to my jelly. You get the point. So,
Very, very well said, Dan.
yeah, I don't know who wrote this.
How'd you come up with that?
I don't know who gave you these notes, but they're really fantastic. I appreciate it.
I'm not sure.
So obviously, a little change of format. We've got 4 people on the podcast instead of 3. This is going to be a big shock to my sister Doris. I don't know how she's going to take this.
I think she's going to love it.
You think so?
Yeah.
The more, the merrier.
The more the merrier.
Might be a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's electric.
Is it already?
Yes.
I can feel the energy.
So we're with the change of format now. The topic is still Keith.
Yeah.
He doesn't think so, but we'll work around to it. So obviously Christmas time is here, and we're doing a lot of Christmas parties. Crowd Lending did a lot of Christmas parties this year. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
We had a
Oh, yeah.
Christmas dinner for the office. Then Chris had his big party, which I didn't go to.
I didn't either.
That was a whole situation.
I was there.
Nick went. Did you go, Amy?
I didn't.
Yeah, Root Beer wasn't there either.
I was in New York.
Yeah, I got a lot of crap for not going. And then we had the Toys for Tots, which was Chris Roach's little event last Thursday. It was a great event. But that's a lot.
It's a lot for the past couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask, I think. What do you think, Root Beer?
It's a lot of Christmas cheer.
I know, but you love Christmas.
I do.
Loving it.
I know.
I need a nap.
But the Toys for Tots raised a whole bunch of, I think, over hundreds and hundreds of toys. So that was actually a good cause. But it got me thinking. Christmas time got me thinking, and I was talking to a friend who's actually been on the podcast, and he has this theory that there's only like 13 weeks a year where people actually work. That's it. And his theory was like, the first couple of weeks of January, people are just getting back into the swing of things. They're always like, well, I'm just getting back into the swing of things, right? Then they work for a couple of weeks. Then you hit February, and everyone's like, well, a February vacation. I'm not around for February vacation. Then you got March vacation for some of the schools, right? That's a couple of weeks off. People are disappearing for that. Then you got April vacation, right? So now you're not really working then either. People are like, we're going to go on April vacation. People are on. Then there's like a time from like April vacation to like the end of the school year where people work, right?
Yeah.
Then you got summer,
Yeah.
right?
You take summers off.
Yeah, nobody works in the summer. Well, I mean, it's hard to get. Oh, it's the summertime. Oh, he's, he's on vacation. It's the summertime. Then they come back. So there's like 3 or 4 weeks so far. And then they come back, and people work from like September almost to like Thanksgiving. Like that's the big push, right? And then Thanksgiving week, nobody works.
Yeah.
And then you work like maybe 1.5 more weeks, maybe 2 weeks, and then it's Christmas time.
After Thanksgiving, it's all eyes on Christmas.
Right, but there's a couple weeks there where you're trying to wrap up some stuff.
Yeah.
Right, so I didn't nail it perfectly, but there's like you only work like 13 weeks out of the year.
So does that only matter if you have kids,
Seems this way.
because I don't have spring break. I don't have April break. I don't have Thanksgiving break.
Right, but if you're working with people that do, you're not getting anything done. Right? Because they're skiing, they're doing this, they're doing that. They're not around. Like I'm not around.
I think we should issue a company-wide spring break. Thanksgiving.
We have enough people around here that take excessive vacations.
I second that motion.
Okay, Amy's today. The reason why we had to do the podcast today is because Amy's out until next year. Right? You're done.
Bye.
Yeah, this is it.
You take Fridays and Mondays off.
No, I took Christmas to New Year's off.
Oh, that's right.
But she took every Friday and Monday leading up to Christmas off. Right.
Great.
But think about that. I don't know the exact. Think about those. Think about the fact that you really you got to work hard during those 13 weeks. I guess is what I'm telling you guys as the staff here at Crowd Lending.
Duly noted.
Okay. All right.
Lead by example is what I would say.
Yeah. Are you saying that I don't work?
No, I'm saying you lead by example. Right. You do work. Like this week's very busy for us.
Yeah. We've been slammed.
Next week's very busy.
Yeah. So I'm saying, but Amy's not going to be here. Where are you going?
Home.
Berkeley.
Home to do what?
I had to use them up by the end of the year.
I use them or lose them.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Is that our policy here?
Yeah.
Are we use them or lose them?
We're flexible though, but yeah, for the most part.
I'm just gonna binge on Christmas for a week.
I mean, you do love it, so it makes
I
sense.
do.
So we got, I like to bring up sayings, different sayings that I see either on Twitter or LinkedIn or Instagram. But we had one right here in our office, which Root Beer really liked. And I said it, and I was actually yelling at you.
Oh, here we go.
And I said, "Don't turn this into something it isn't, because you're gonna end up with something you don't want."
It only took him 3 tries to get it right, but he got it.
No, I nailed it on the first try when I said it the first time.
I don't know.
I couldn't
Yeah.
remember it after that.
So
that's the
Because I
thing.
was like,
Don't turn this into
happened?
something it isn't, because you're gonna end up with something you don't want. Does everybody understand that? Don't make a mountain out of a molehill, because then you're gonna have a major issue with me, or whoever you made that mountain out of.
Seems like I made a mountain.
I don't even remember what the issue was. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I had it out a little early.
Oh,
Edit me out, right?
oh wow,
Oh, hey.
Paul McRae coming into the office.
Yeah.
You're on video.
Oh, you can see me? No. I'm hiding.
What are you doing?
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad you picked
And
it
I
up.
wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy Hanukkah.
All right.
Today's day 3.
You enjoying the Hanukkah holiday?
Already wished everybody a Happy Hanukkah.
You love Hanukkah.
I do.
Big Jewish holiday guy over there.
I am. What are you guys discussing?
Well, we weren't discussing you until you walked in here.
My name really came up?
No.
Which was it? I got 2 yeses and a no.
No, it didn't.
All right, well, enjoy, guys. I got to go.
Nice to
All right.
see you.
Happy holidays.
Goodbye.
bye, Paul.
Goodbye, Paul.
Little cameo from Paul McRae.
I love it.
No, you're going to make it through. Little cameo from Paul McRae there.
It's always good. When he comes in.
Another person that's been on the Everybody Needs a Nudge podcast. You know what I'm struck by, Root Beer, is how many people this podcast is actually reaching.
I know.
Yeah. Every time I go somewhere, people say, "Hey, he's got a podcast."
I'm not feeling this root beer.
Why not?
Is this like a podcast thing? Is this what we call her?
Yeah.
A&W.
I don't know.
Why, you don't like it?
I just, it doesn't, no.
It's not resonating with you.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Root beer. Hey, root beer.
You don't like it. It's root beer.
I like Amy Walshy.
No.
Root beer.
No. So here's my question that I have. If you look around, we all have facial hair. Do women like facial hair on guys?
If it's done correctly, yes.
Okay, what does that mean? Like a mustache?
I'm actually a fan of the mustache.
Really?
I am.
Oh, it's good.
Wow.
Look. It's a good look.
I am.
I never would have thought. You are an
But-
old soul.
I am.
You really are an old soul.
It's
Because
true.
I equate the mustache with not old people, but like a different era.
Right.
Like I feel like the mustache was like 70s, 60s, 50s. Like my grandfather had a mustache. That's the era that I equate mustaches with.
Right.
That and pedophiles.
Oh.
Check.
But Keithy has a mustache, and he grew it because we had a golf tournament, and he kept it. So it's been what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. Our captain for our golf tourney wanted us to grow him. We grew him, and I just can't bring myself to shave it. And I know how ridiculous it looks.
I actually don't think it looks ridiculous.
It looks good.
My rule of thumb with facial hair is if you don't have hair on your head, you can't be growing facial hair. I feel like you're overcompensating for something.
Really?
So you grow it in your face. Yeah, I'm not a fan of facial hair on people who don't have hair.
But maybe it balances
Says a
out.
bald guy who's
Says a bald guy with a nice mustache.
to another bald guy who's growing a shitty beard.
Right.
Your beard looks good too.
It's getting there.
You guys
It
have
takes me a while. I don't think Marlene likes the beard.
Well,
Emily
that's
hates
the thing.
mustache.
It's if it grows in patchy or you got to manage the scruff.
Yeah.
You need a beard brush.
Does
with some
Johnny have a
oil.
beard?
He cannot because of his job.
Oh, he's a state trooper. Do you guys know that?
Oh my
Johnny
God.
Cops.
Johnny Cops, as we like to call him on the show.
Wow.
Johnny Cops a feel, maybe. Oh, skaboom. Hey
This
now.
is the After Dark
What just
episode.
happened?
Parental
So
advisory for
you
this
like facial hair if it's done correctly.
Yes.
My father, I've never seen my father without a beard. My whole entire life, 46 years. He's had a beard.
It's like those videos when a little girl and her dad, and he'll shave the beard and she doesn't recognize
Yeah.
who he is.
That's how I would
one.
feel about
You're
my
like
father.
Looking at him like, whoa.
Yeah.
He used to always say to me as a kid, I'd say, Dad, shave your beard, shave your beard. He said, I'll just shave half of it. Because that would look ridiculous, right, guys?
Yeah.
It's a good story.
Yeah. It's like Craigie when he makes me a drink. Sometimes at the end of the night, if I'm having a drink with Keith Keith doesn't drink anymore, but if I had a drink with Keith and Craigie, who were trying to get on the show, but he won't come on the show, I can't keep up with them because they're better drinkers than I am, especially Craigie. And I'd say, I'm done. I can't have any more. And he'd say, I'll make you one. You just drink half of it. No one's going to drink half of a drink, right? So that's his trick into getting me to stay. I would always,
Seems like it works.
Oh, it works.
yeah, every time. I'm like, I'll just drink half of it. But the second half of the drink is the better half,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Because the ice is melted a little bit.
First half's just a warm
That's
up.
true.
Yeah, the second half of most drinks is better, assuming there's alcohol in them. Which we went to Serafina, and there was no alcohol in the drinks at Serafina. I'm convinced of it. I'm
It's
convinced.
possible.
I got wine, so
Yeah, there's alcohol in that.
Yeah.
I had the amount of whatever. There's no
A lot.
right
Yeah.
for me.
For you, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, and I was fine walking out of there. And
Except for your little episode in the parking garage.
what was my episode in the parking lot? Oh, I couldn't work the ticket.
Yeah.
No,
We,
you paid for the ticket.
Oh, that's what
And
happened.
A guy who drove out in front.
That's what happened. I had the ticket in my hand, and we were walking past the exit,
yeah.
and I said, "Go get the car," because Keithy was driving because he wasn't drinking. I said, "Go get the car and pull it around, and I'll pay for the ticket so we don't have to wait." So I paid, and then another car went through,
And there
so he got to go for free. And then my card wouldn't work to let us out,
and I'm waiting behind them in another car. Like, what is going on?
so I had to go get the guy, and
It's a good scene.
he had to let me out. He let us go for free.
I mean, technically you paid.
Technically I paid, but in his mind, I broke him down. Right at the
Right,
end of the day.
right.
So the last thing we'll talk, and then we'll get into Keithy. We're going to ask him some questions, and we'll talk about Keithy a little bit here. You mentioned the weight loss contest.
Yes.
What was the weight loss contest?
I don't know, Nick, you can help me with this. It was a quarterly weight loss challenge where a monetary amount was awarded to the winners within the office.
And how long has this been going on? It's supposed to be 2022?
2022, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, so we should be done this
Yeah.
couple weeks here.
Pretty much. And then I think we're planning on re-rolling it into 23 and keep it going.
Yeah, and my understanding was it was a $1,000 quarterly amount for the total amount lost per that quarter for each quarter. And
Yeah.
then at the end of the competition, it was a $5,000 overall winner.
Do we have that in writing?
I can draft it real quick.
Yeah, check your pocket. You might have a little something in there.
You should win. I mean, how much weight have you lost?
I'm down. I was down 70.
70 pounds.
Yeah, I went from 270 down to 200.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is.
Yeah, I put
Good
some
for
back
you.
on the last month or so because of the holidays and whatnot. But
Yeah. I don't think your eating habits have been great the last couple
No,
months or so.
no.
Got a
Ice
sweet
cream.
tooth.
Ice
do.
cream.
Ice
Ice
cream.
cream.
No alcohol, though.
No booze. It's one of the things. Just stop drinking, exercise.
So how long? When's the last time you had a drink?
February 23rd.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now I
Yeah.
have you weight training now too. So
I started the weights, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready for the beach.
Really?
Yeah.
You working the tonal in here?
I've tried the tonal. I can't get behind it.
Oh, I love the tonal.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you use it here?
Yeah, I did it last week and I couldn't walk for like 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it too. You don't like it, Nick?
oh, I like it.
Yeah. Do you use it?
I go to the gym now, but I did use it for a little while.
It's a nice piece of equipment. You should try it.
It's very nice looking. I
Yeah.
just can't figure it out.
Well,
How to use
me and you will go.
Yeah,
We'll do a little
maybe
workout.
a tutorial or
Yeah. You bring your whoopee in there with you.
bring Whoopi with me.
Yeah. Come on in,
I
Whoopi.
don't know how I feel about this, but
Well, he couldn't come on the show. All right, so let's ask Keith some questions. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying Keith is a very private man who doesn't like to talk about himself. He's very selfless, and that's why we keep him around for a variety of other reasons. But so this is going to be very difficult for him, but we're going to do it. All right?
I'm here.
Hold my hand.
All right, so let's get into it a little bit. Where were you born?
I was born at St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Boston.
Why up there?
That's where Mom sent us all.
Yeah? But she must have gone with you.
No, she wasn't there actually. We'll save that for a different podcast.
Mom sent us up to St. E's.
Yeah.
She didn't have time for,
No.
for the birth.
No.
Get in the car. You're going to St. E's. You gotta be born. Were you living up that way?
No, we were actually in Halifax. That's where we first started.
Started in Halifax,
Moved to Duxbury when I was 5 and been in Duxbury ever since.
and you've got a whole slew of Carters.
There's 5 of us. I have 3 sisters and obviously Craigie, my brother.
Craigie's the youngest.
Maeve is the youngest.
Maeve's the youngest. Who's the oldest?
Deirdre.
Deirdre. Who am I missing then? Deirdre,
Allison.
Allison, you, Craigie,
It's Deirdre-
Maeve.
Deirdre, me, Craigie, Allison, Maeve.
Okay, so the 2 boys are in the middle.
Yes.
Okay, and how much younger is Craigie than you? You're born in 74.
Depends. Depends who you're asking.
Depends on which fake ID I showed you.
Right. So there's 2 years between all of us, from the oldest to the youngest. So,
Really?
yeah.
That's a good cadence of.
Yeah.
So 5 total, 6, 5.
5 total.
5 total, yeah.
Yes. 5.
So that's 10 years of newborns or young babies being around.
Yeah. It's good, Dan. Good math.
That's a grind.
It is.
That's a grind.
It is.
So are they all local still?
Yeah. Craigie's in Duxbury.
Yeah, I knew that. That much I know.
Yeah. 1 in Hanover and 2 in West Roxbury.
Was there a connection to West Roxbury that landed them up there?
I think it was maybe a relationship. Could be work related. I don't really know.
But nothing with your family.
No.
No Carter family connection to JP. West
no.
Roxbury.
No.
All right. So growing up in Duxbury, wonderful town.
Duxbury, yeah, great town.
Yeah. I play any sports?
I did a lot of badminton, figure skating.
He's lying, folks. This is Keithy's defense mechanism.
I asked for everybody's bio when I first started working here, and he put that in it.
Yeah, he put it in his bio.
And Tori had to come in and be like, that's not true, right?
Yeah, he put like he was a world-class figure skater
Yep.
in his bio.
Yep, badminton, champion.
I went to China for that.
Yeah, you did.
did.
You did.
But yeah, no, I played the normal sports: soccer, baseball, hockey.
And now you got a son who loves soccer.
I have a son that loves soccer, which hurts a little bit, but yeah, big soccer guy.
But after the World Cup, so Finney came to the girls' practice yesterday, 2 days ago, Monday, and we were doing hockey drills, and I said the word soccer ball, and you would have thought he was like, "Where's the soccer ball? Is there a soccer ball?" All he wants to do is play soccer.
That's it. It's 24/7 in our house. It's fun. It's great. It's great. I still have Jenny.
Biggest sport in the world, so,
Not really. I mean, soccer.
Football.
At the end of the day, it's soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah.
It's everyone likes it every 4 years.
Right. Especially, well, I mean, I think the whole world likes soccer, except
100%.
we don't care
We
about
don't
it.
care about it.
America.
No, it's too slow for Americans.
Very slow.
Too many people, too slow. Field's too big.
Net's too big. Did you see there's like a
I mean, we are going to piss off Mark Gammons with some of this.
yeah, it is what it is. He's a big soccer guy.
Sorry.
Mark, if you're out there, we're sorry. But there was like an Instagram post or Twitter post, and it said, "This is what you have to do to fix soccer." It was shrink the field, shrink the nets, make it so there's 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a goalie, and cover the field in ice.
And then sub on the fly.
Yeah, and then sub on the fly.
Yeah.
So essentially, turn it into hockey.
There you go.
Yeah.
It all comes back to hockey.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the cult. So, so you got Jenny and Finney at home now, but when you were growing up, you're playing all these sports. Where do you end up going to high school?
I ended up at BC High for my freshman year, and I didn't find it as challenging. So I ended up going to CM for my sophomore year.
Really?
Graduated from CM, yes.
You
So
didn't?
That's all. BCI was just wasn't for me.
You know what they say about BC High,
We
right?
know what they say. We sure do.
Root beer, do you know what they say?
I do.
Yeah, you know the saying, BC
I
high,
do.
BC low.
Yep.
Oh, I'm from Connecticut. I don't know these things.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
No.
You guys can DM me. Slip into my DMs and I'll tell you what the rest of the saying is. Isn't that what you say?
Oh, yeah. Sure, yeah.
Slip into my DMs?
Slide.
Oh, slide?
Yeah, slip sounds
Slip doesn't sound right.
floppy.
Yeah.
Not smooth.
We'll work
Not
on it.
smooth? So
We'll work on it.
if I going up to a girl, I was like, hey, slip into my DMs.
Slide.
She'd
slide.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't go well.
You got to slide into my
Slide.
DMs.
Slide, smooth slide. You know, slip means you fell, right? Like I slipped, but I slid into your DMs.
Okay. Like almost on purpose.
Completely on purpose.
Yeah. So you can
Fun.
slide into my DMs and I'll give you the rest of the.
See, that sounded great. That sounded perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So 1 year at BC High.
Yeah, 3 years at CM.
And why'd you leave CM? Why'd you leave BC High?
I don't really know. It would maybe I was asked to.
Okay, let me ask.
Maybe it just didn't work out.
Let me ask you a hypothetical.
Okay.
If you were to have been asked to leave BC High,
Mhm.
why would you have been asked?
I'm not really sure how to answer this. My parents might listen to this.
Plead the fifth.
They must have known.
No, they knew. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's such a non-answer right there. Yeah, just just didn't work out. Wasn't for me.
yeah.
Did you get in a fight?
No.
Did you fail out? Did you
no.
cheat?
Can you really fail out? No. No, I didn't. No, I didn't cheat.
You're not a cheater.
Didn't fight.
You're not a fighter.
I mean, academically, was it difficult? Yes.
Fair enough.
Just didn't work out.
Fair enough. Now you got to tell the story
Oh boy.
of so Keithy and I had a bunch of crossovers because I was at Thayer and there was a bunch of Duxbury people at Thayer. But Keithy had a girlfriend in high school. And I just want you to tell the story about how you first, and she was a Duxbury girl, how you first got the girl. I won't kind of say any names or anything. Everybody had girlfriends.
Right, no, yeah.
You were a handsome guy.
Yeah, I am. Still am.
I know.
Especially with the mustache. So that. Trying to think what year. So we were definitely going to CM. It was a carpool, 3 or 4 of us in the car, driving up Route 3. And I remember seeing this blue Jetta on the highway. And there was this very attractive young girl in the back seat being carpooled. And they had a Thayer sticker on the back of the car, so we assumed she was going to Thayer. And I'd seen her around town or at church or somewhere.
Church going guy.
Big church guy.
So
And
wholesome.
So wholesome, right? Seen her at church, raising, helping out for the poor people.
volunteering in the community together. And I just happened to see her. And obviously, this was a time before cell phones and whatnot. So I saw her, and I found her very attractive. And I grabbed my notebook and pen, and I wrote this quick note. It just said, "My name's Keith, call me." And I wrote down my phone number.
Oh my God.
And I plastered it on the side of the window. And she saw it. She kind of gave me a thumbs up, and I just assumed nothing was going to happen. And again, before cell phones, you go home, you're waiting, and I waited for a couple weeks, nothing. And every day I'm looking for her on the ride up, nothing. And then one Saturday she called me, and the rest was history.
Oh my God, that's
Right.
the cutest.
Is that amazing?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that amazing? I could totally see you doing it too.
Actually, we had a friend in the car with her, Jake Borden.
Oh, Jake was in the
He
car.
was in the car, yeah.
I think Jake's had a couple of mentions on this podcast. Jake went to Thayer with me, then he went to Yale, and he actually caught the touchdown pass in the Yale Harvard football game to beat Yale for the first time in 25 years or something. He'll tell the story better than I would, but he's like a living legend at Yale, and to us he's just Jake. So he was in the car with, yeah. So now at Thayer, when we were at Thayer, she was like the it girl. She was like the girl. And Keithy scored her.
No, it was just
And you dated her for a while.
we dated for a while, yeah, and then we went separate directions after high school, and that was that.
So what happens after high school for you? Not for the relationship ends, I get it. She goes to BC. She's actually went to BC with me. She's married and doing very well right now, much like you, sitting here doing a podcast with your oldest friend.
Yeah, oldest. Yeah, so after high school, I did some hockey.
Where'd you go to? What? Okay, so you were at CM.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go right to college.
I don't go right to college. No, I ended up getting hurt my senior year in high school playing hockey.
What'd you do?
Broken ankle. And I wasn't ready for college. I wanted to play hockey in college, and that being hurt my senior year kind of hurt that. So I did some junior hockey after high school, and played for a team called the New England Classics. It was inaugural season for this team. I think they were only around for 2 or 3 years maybe. But did that, and then I ended up going to college after that.
So where were they based out of?
Our home rink was in Canton.
Okay.
Ponkapock rink there.
The one that caved in
The
recently.
one that caved in.
They just fixed it up.
Yeah.
They did a terrible job with that rink.
Yeah.
Neutral zone's way too small. So tell us a little bit about where did you play games?
It was an experience. It was a bunch of guys, Scotty Harlow and Donnie Callow. I don't know if you know the names.
Oh yeah, I know those guys.
So they were our coaches, and we skated every day. We get on the bus and take trips to New York, Buffalo, just to grind. And
Yeah.
our home games are in Canton. 35, 40 game season maybe.
Do you still talk to any of the guys that were on that team?
I'm just trying. I don't know. I see them. Eric Healy was on that team. Drew Hale was on that team. And I'm forgetting a ton of them.
So local guys.
Local guys, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple of kids from
Hanging on to the dream.
Finland. Yeah, exactly. Trying to create themselves, make themselves better to play at the next level.
Yeah. So how many years did you do that?
Did that for one season.
Were you living at home?
Yeah, I lived at home,
Working?
working for my father, out in the field doing construction, and then playing hockey every day.
Yeah.
It was great.
Were you in the union at that? At some
I
point, you
was,
get in the union.
yeah.
So that's when you go in the union.
Yeah, we joined the union. I'm not sure if we can say this, but we joined. My brother and I joined when we were in high school. We had an in with my dad, and we did that for summers.
Do you work union jobs in the summers? What union?
Laborers union,
So what were you doing in the summers?
digging holes. just yeah.
I was not digging holes in the
No,
summer.
no.
I was playing golf
Right.
in my high school years.
Yeah, it was a good job. It paid very well.
Yeah. But you were up early grinding.
Yeah, you're up early. You're up, in Boston by 6:30 and working all day till 3:30. Home by 5 and right to practice.
Right back at it the next day.
Sounds like your schedule now.
It's
Seriously.
exactly like my schedule.
Yeah, he's really grinding, digging ditches over here. Yeah. really-
Someone has to do it.
Yeah, he's really grinding it out, right, Nick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Dream team.
you do that for a year, and then what do you do?
From there, we head to Fairfield University
Okay. To play hockey.
to get an education.
Well, of course. Of course, you're a student athlete. They put the student first.
Right.
But the driver was to
Play hockey.
play
yes.
hockey.
Yep.
Now, you could have gone to some other places, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So
Why'd you choose Fairfield?
I think I had other options. schools like Plattsburgh State, Iona, Elmira, some other ones, but it came down to the school itself, and my parents were happy or excited when Fairfield came calling, and being a great school that it is, they kind of pushed me in that direction.
Got it. So it was education driven by your parents
Mhm.
because they have a better education, better reputation than those other academic institutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the way it is now, but that's what it was back then.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know that it is now. Although I think Fairfield's still a pretty good school,
Yeah,
right?
Fairfield's still a good school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it outlaps those other ones that you just mentioned
Yeah.
academically. But again, every school is what you put into it, right? I mean, there's schools that have great nursing programs. There's schools that have great whatever programs that may not be on the same level with some of the business schools, right? I mean, you're where'd you go? Bryant, one of the B's, right? Bryant,
B's.
Babson, Brandeis.
Bryant, Babson, Bentley were the 3 B's.
Oh, Brandeis isn't in that mix?
Not when I was in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was the 3 B's. Bryant, Babson, Bentley.
Bryant, Babson, Bentley.
Yeah, and Babson was kind of on a different level.
It still is.
Yeah. And then Bentley and Bryant.
We tried to hire a guy from Babson, but we ended up with you.
Happens.
Yeah. Still regretting it to this day.
Hey, he's probably on the greener pastures.
Well, greener, like Babson's uniforms.
You like how I did that?
Yeah, I saw what you did there.
I like that.
So, 4 years at Fairfield?
No, there was only 2 years at Fairfield.
Okay.
Yeah, we had some bumpy roads down there.
Yeah.
Just wasn't a good fit.
So you come home from Fairfield,
Yeah.
and what do you do?
Right to work for Dad. Dad's like, yep, right to work. So he put
So
me-
back to the union stuff.
Yeah, back to work.
But now Monday through Friday
Yeah,
in the winter.
working full time. It was a grind.
How old are you now?
Today?
No.
Then.
At this point in the story, how old are you?
I don't even know. I was a 21-year-old freshman. So I had to be 22, 23 years old this time.
You were a 21-year-old
I
freshman.
was an old freshman, yeah.
Jeez, I was a 21-year-old senior.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't take any time off. If I could go back, I wouldn't take time off between high school and college. I would take time off between college and law school and get out and get a real job and work something else before I went back to law school. But I don't know that I would have gone back to law school had I done that.
They always say that year off, no matter what. It's just sometimes it's hard to get back into it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think if you were making a couple of bucks, now you're going to go back to being a student, not making a couple bucks.
Oh yeah, and studying again and all that grind.
Yeah, it's a different animal. All right, so you come home. This is back to you.
Come home.
Let you catch your breath. You've been talking a lot. This is the most I've ever heard him talk.
Come home and
So this is my favorite, and I say this all the time on the podcast. One of my favorite things on the podcast is I get to learn things about people that I've known for a very long time. I think I've known most of this, but not all of it. I didn't know you work in union in high school, you animal. Father was he's such a nice guy. He was like
he was tough.
iron fist back then.
He was.
Pop. Like the nicest guy you ever meet. He's always patting me on the back, asking me how things are going. He beat you guys down, digging ditches when you were 15.
Yeah.
Made you the man you are today, though.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah, weirdo with a
Sure.
mustache.
Yeah.
Yep. Weirdo with a mustache. All right, so you come back from Fairfield, and what happens next?
I don't even, just working. Ended up joining the National Guard just to kill some time. I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing.
Okay. And where does that take you?
So that was didn't really take me anywhere because it was. Well, I did. You have to do the training, the boot camp, and then
Where's the boot camp?
boot camp was in South Carolina,
So you go down there.
Fort Jackson.
Is it like this is gonna sound terrible, but is it like the real boot camp, like the Marines boot camp, or is it like a watered down version of because it's the National Guard? I don't know the answer. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, it's a real boot camp. You're with other National Guard to be soldiers and then full time soldiers.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a real boot camp. It's not a infantry type boot camp. But yeah,
And how long are you down there for?
I think I was there for 9 weeks.
Okay, so it's a good stretch.
Yeah, Yeah.
Did Craigie go at the same time?
No. Craigie was a couple years later than I was.
Okay. So you go National Guard 9-week boot camp.
Yeah, and then a 7 or 8 week, I think it's called, I forget. It's individual training or IT. It's just what you're going to be doing when you're within there.
Okay, and so what were you training for?
So they had me doing, it's like a quartermaster type, a unit supply type of thing.
Okay.
But there was no specific training to that actual field. It's just 7 or 8 more weeks of just doing nothing.
And are you still in South Carolina?
Yes, that was that South Carolina?
I feel like you should know this. This is your life.
This is like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I know, and you haven't talked about it in a long
I
time.
haven't. I think it was South Carolina. Yeah.
So where do you go after that? So you're in South Carolina for the better part of.
Yeah, but you come home here and there for a couple of weeks, and you go back down. So yeah, after that you come home.
Did you get any free time when you were down there? You like go out and party with the guys at all?
A couple weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
What do they call that? You're on leave.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left. It was good. You
Yeah?
know, it's good training. It's
Did the girls like the soldiers down there or what?
there weren't many. But I'm sure they do. I just there weren't many.
They do.
Oh yeah,
There weren't many.
Women
yeah.
love military. Yeah,
they do.
definitely.
Men in uniform, right?
Men in uniform.
Right, Johnny Cops.
Johnny Cops.
Yeah.
Marine. too.
Yeah, he's a Marine.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he checks all the boxes.
All of them.
Yeah, a little short for me, but he does check most of the boxes.
Johnny, he's taller than I am, isn't he?
No, Johnny's short.
5'8" and 3/4.
Just ask him.
5'9" on a good day.
Yeah, when he's got his heels in.
With his boots on.
Yeah, when he's wearing his heels. So after you've trained to be,
Be a superhero. I came home, and then life is normal. You just go on doing what you're doing. You're working, various jobs, whatever I was doing at the time, and they call you up once a month to go away for 2 weeks to do some BS training in the woods, and you come home.
Whoa, you're gone for 2 weeks a month?
2 weeks, 2 weeks a summer, once a month.
Yeah, 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, right?
Yeah. The 2 weeks a year, you go into the Cape, you're going upstate New York.
Yeah.
You're running, just running around the woods playing with cops and robbers, and pack back up, and you come home and you go right back to work. But so it was a 6-year commitment, and in my 6th year, we were getting told that we're getting deployed. So at the time, I'm like, I only have like 3 months left. Can I just get out?
Yeah.
No, the commitment's 6 years, so we had to go. And
So where do you go?
so that was neat. So we would do a pre-deployment. We go to Wisconsin. We're there for like 5 or 6 weeks, trying to get all the soldiers in shape, because it's National Guard. It's not a full-time thing. It's part-time. So it's a lot of training there for 5 or 6 weeks, and then we jump on a plane and we head to Egypt for 12. Was it 12 months? I don't know, 10 or 12 months in Egypt.
Oh, that long?
Yeah. I think
Wow.
maybe the whole commitment may have been 12 months. Maybe the time in Egypt was 8 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
There's an incredible photo of him on a
on
camel.
a camel. I got a lot of camel rides.
You gotta send Rupia the photo
I need that
so
picture.
we'll put it on the podcast. It's an
Yeah.
incredible picture of him. He looks very military riding the camel. He does look regal.
I need to see this.
He looks regal. Do you have it on your phone?
I'm
I'm sure we can find it.
I'm sure it's somewhere
Yeah.
in the archives.
So at some point you come back and you start your career.
Yeah. So after the deployment, we come home. I'm not even sure what job. I was definitely working in the construction industry, more than likely with my father, as a project manager or estimator for his construction company, grinding with that. And I spent 12 years with him doing that type of work. I left his company to get on the manufacturing side of construction. So working with a manufacturer, being a sales rep, regional sales manager.
Was that with Henry?
I was with Henry, yep.
Okay. And how long are you with Henry?
Probably 5 or 6 years with Henry.
And during this time you get married at some point.
Oh, yeah, I got married.
Oh,
actually,
yeah,
I
he
was-
says.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you meet Emily?
Emily, where did we meet? So Emily was
The
actually
love of his life.
yeah, the love of my life. She's actually my sister's college roommate.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So sibling weekend, I was a huge hit up there.
What school?
Merrimack College.
So you go to Merrimack College for sibling weekend and end up scooping your sister's roommate.
I did. Well, but not during the obviously siblings weekend, but yeah, that's how it ended up playing out. But yeah,
Later on, maybe.
maybe a month later.
Yeah, right back up there. Right back up to Merrimack College. Yeah, I'm going to see my sister. I'll be back.
I left my sneakers.
Yeah. Oh, the old leave my sneaker trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got married. I've been married. I think it's 14 years now.
Wow.
Emily.
Emily's great.
Yeah, she's great. When I first met her, I remember going to her condo at the time, and you pull in the driveway, and I don't know if she purposely did this, but her garage doors were open, and at the time she was working for Nike Golf. And so I get out of my car and I kind of walk into the garage, and there's got to be $500,000 worth of golf gear just sitting there. And I just said, "This is the one. This is it.
This is it.
I'm
We're
done. Lock it up."
Yeah. Hey, everybody has that moment, right? When they know.
Yeah.
You know, Marlene told that guy to pick up his glasses, and you had $500,000 of merchandise in the closet.
That
Said this.
tracks for both of you.
Yeah, perfectly, right? It really does. So after Henry, at some point you end up here at Crowd Lending.
Yeah, it was a year after Henry, I came on board over here. Just starting off doing little stuff right away, and this is my third year with you guys.
Is it that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Is he the second longest tenured employee besides you, Nick?
I am.
Yeah.
So it goes Nick,
Pay raise.
Keith, and then who's next? You?
Walshy.
Me?
Is this like the brain trust in here?
Jeremy.
Wait, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Oh,
Jeremy, then
Jeremy. Quiet Jeremy.
Jeremy,
Sweet
then
tooth
her.
Jeremy.
He doesn't say much over there. Forget about
But
him.
He packs a punch when he does.
He does.
He does.
Yeah.
Listen.
So what are you doing now here at Crowd Lending?
A lot, really.
All of it.
It's been great. I started off just, not running, but overseeing the construction aspect of our business. I'm sure most people know that 90% of our loans have a construction aspect to them. And so I've been kind of overseeing that. Along that way, I picked up loan modifications. I do use me for collections, which is a fun part of my job.
Yeah, that's kind of where it started, right?
It did start with collections.
It started with collections because we were coming out of the pandemic and I was dealing with collections and I said, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And we brought Keith on to deal with collections, which was a pain in the neck then. It's still a pain in the neck, but it's a lesser of a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
And then it morphed into when we figured out that you were being underutilized given your background in construction that you had developed because of your father. There's a little nudge right there, right? See that? See what I did there, Rupia?
What's your dad's name?
Pop.
Pop.
Do you really call him Pop?
No, everyone else does.
I call him Pop.
Yeah.
I call him Pop.
That's so sweet.
I know. He's sweet. And if
Papa Carter?
Pop.
We should get him on.
Oh, Pop would be great on here. He'll be a great addition to this to the podcast. We're gonna bark him down for coming on. He'd be happy to do it. But essentially, the little nudges that got you into that field gave you the construction background. Then it gave you sort of the sales background with Henry because that was important. Now you can deal with people, and it all kind of led right to Crowd Lending.
Yeah, it's been great.
And for those that don't know, you've also been on the bench with me for 7 years at Duxbury High.
The assistant to the assistant, yes.
Well, you were the assistant to the assistant when I was the assistant.
Right.
And then I became the head coach and you became the first assistant. Sorry, Craigie. Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, the truth hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you like most about that role?
I think coaching in general, it's working with the kids. It's teaching them something that you were taught growing up, playing a sport that you loved, and then seeing them do it on the ice or off the ice. It's very rewarding to watch the kids kind of grow, especially at the high school age when you're getting kids who are 14 and they're done with you when they're 18 and see what they really can turn into, not just in hockey but in life, really. Yeah,
it's a nice seat to be in, and this is always a good time of year to be around the program because we do youth skates where, we invite all the youth kids, girls, to come either, we do like a skill session and then they get to meet the team and then they get to have some pizza. And then the very next day we do the alumni game. So you get to see all the kids that are coming up. Then you've got, we always have practices around here. So you got the kids that are in the program now. And then you got all the girls that come back. And we have an alumni game that started 4 or 5 years ago with like 6 girls. And, we'll be up around 30 to 35 girls this coming on Christmas Eve. We do it on Christmas Eve. So it's just a really cool time to be around the program and be part of that. That's probably my favorite part, is to kind of be part of something that's bigger than you within the community. I do agree with all the things you said about teaching kids, how to play hockey and all that stuff. And, hopefully influencing them and teaching them some life lessons. But to be part of something that now spans from, Jenny's going to be there, right? Your little Jenny. How old is Jenny?
She's 5. Yeah.
She's 5. And last year we had girls coming back that are probably pushing 35, 40 years old. So to see that span of 40 years of Duxbury High girls hockey is pretty neat.
Yeah, this is cool.
And we're a part of it.
We certainly are.
Yeah.
Big part of it.
For now, the mustache is scaring people away.
I've had some looks.
Yeah. Yeah. And now Nick's kind of part of it. He took some photos for us.
Yeah, team photographer now.
Yeah. Well, you don't get a title, just, you're the guy that took pictures.
Team photographer.
Not yet.
Team.
It's a paying gig.
Yeah, no, it's not. You got to earn that.
It's a rewarding gig.
Well, Keith, I think you did a wonderful job. I know you were very nervous to come on the show. Didn't want to come on the show. And we got to learn a little bit about Keith. And you didn't really have to talk. You didn't have to, you didn't have to bail him out. It would be.
I think I was just here just to show him that he can do this.
Yeah. It's a big growing moment for Keith, and we're all proud of you, Keith. So thank you very much. We appreciate you coming on. Everybody out, Rupia, you got anything to say before you leave for 4 weeks?
Thanks, Keith. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll be back after the new year to rekindle the velocity and the momentum that we had when we started this thing. 25 episodes ago?
Ish.
Yeah. We used to know that exactly, but now we're an ish type of group.
25-ish.
When you have so many that you do, it starts to blend a little
Yeah.
bit. So it's a good thing. It's good.
Well, hopefully, people have enjoyed listening as much as I've enjoyed doing it for this year. Going to continue it on next year. Hopefully, broaden our horizons of guests a little bit. We're gonna get Root Beer to work on getting some guests in here as part of her job as a producer.
We can do that.
Yeah, I want Johnny Cops in here.
Johnny Cops.
Yeah, let's get him in. We'll learn a little bit about Johnny. We'll put him on the hot seat.
Oh man.
So happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, happy whatever else is out there to celebrate this time of year. And as always, if anybody needs anything, you can give me a call because everybody needs a nudge. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Nick.
Always.
Yeah. Bye, Root Beer.
Merry Christmas.